Welcome. In front of me is a ESSENTIELB Wooze L, and today I'll show you a couple tweaks and tricks that I can do on this device. So we're going to begin with the Mira Vision, which just allows you to add a little bit more pop to the display, more color and contrast. So to get started, let's go into the settings and then display, where at the top you will have Mira Vision. So let's start off by tapping on 3 bars and going picture mode. And by default you can see that it's set to standard, so you can go with vivid. You can see immediately a little bit of a difference in the image quality as these different colors start to look a little bit more lively. Then also, if you go back here and scroll down, you will have dynamic contrast. Now unfortunately this is in landscape mode always, so just bear with me. But you can see once I turn it on, you can immediately see a difference in the quality. It seems a little bit brighter on the camera, at least that's how I would say, but the brightness doesn't really change. There's just like less of this grayish tint to everything, and it looks drastically better in my opinion. So I'm basically flipping it on and off so you can get a good idea of how it will differ. But yeah, so this is the first one. Now moving on, we're going to go into the System UI Tuner, which just simply allows you to clean up your status bar right here of unnecessary clutter. So if you're using Bluetooth and other stuff like Do Not Disturb mode, just enable a couple of them so you can get an idea of what I mean. What else can I drop in there? Hotspot maybe? I guess not. Oh, there we go. So now if I minimize it, you can see that there is a clutter of unnecessary stuff, right? So to enable the System UI Tuner, because by default it's hidden, you want to hold the settings icon. So once you hold it, it will appear with a little circle around, so you know that it's starting to do its thing. And if I slightly move my finger without actually trying to show you, but it does start spinning. You can see it right now spinning, and when it does, you want to let go. And for me, it just gives me a message to remove it, but for you it should say that you have enabled it and whatever. It will be just a brief message and you don't have to do anything. It just disappears after a second. So let's just tap on cancel. This won't actually show up for you guys, so don't worry. And then the System UI Tuner is just in the main settings page right at the bottom. So you have System UI Tuner, understood, cool. Let's go to status bar, and here I have all the things that I can toggle off. So you could basically go and toggle everything off, and as you will see, things are starting to disappear from the status bar. You can even hide the battery if you wish to, time. So you can see now percentage is kept in the battery settings, so you can disable it there. Unfortunately, it seems like you cannot disable the hotspot, I think it is. Am I correct? Let's see. Yep, so the hotspot seems to not have any setting here that will affect it. So just a little thing. Wi-Fi, I guess if you would, I assume if you would connect, it would disappear because it is here. Let's just quickly see my theory. If I connect back, yep, it's gone. So once you connect to Wi-Fi, it disappears from here. So this is the first one now, or well, theoretically there was a second one. So just a nice way of cleaning up the status bar. The next thing I wanted to show is the scheduled power on and off. And if you're wondering why would I need that, it will help the device clean up its cache and also perform a little bit better because of it. And it's advised just to do it about once a week. It doesn't need to be every day or anything like that. So to do it, you want to go into the settings, and at the bottom you'll have scheduled power on and off. And all you need to do is just enable both of them. And then let's start off with the off, because that will be the first one. So time, I'm just going to set it to, for instance, 11:30. Yeah, well, sounds good enough. And make it only on Saturday. Saturday, there we go. Okay, done. And then on time, again, we're gonna go for Saturday, like so. And when I wanna turn it back on at 11, Let's go 35, cool. And again tap on done, and that's about it, that's all it needs. Now it will turn off on Saturday at 11:30, turn back on 5 minutes later, and the process is done. And cache will be cleared, and the device should perform also a little bit better because of it. Now if you want, you could go a little bit crazy in here and set it up to turn off every single day, for instance at nighttime when you don't use your device, and turn back on right before you wake up. So this is completely up to you if you want to. This will also then increase your battery life, so if you want you can go for this. I'm just showing up the least intrusive but most helpful way of setting it up. So moving on, we're going to go into the animation speed, which just simply allows you to either increase or reduce the animation speed of the entire device. So anything that you touch, like right here, you could see that everything was sliding up. If you tap on an app, it zooms in. All those are animations that you can actually change to be quicker, slower, whatever you want. So to get this changed, again, settings, and then all the way down to about phone, and build number, you can see it right here, tap on that 7 times. And then you will get a message, you are now a developer. So let's go back, and you're also seeing developer options basically pop in here. So let's go into it, scroll a little bit past halfway to window animation scale, transition animation scale, and animation duration scale. And basically you want to set all of these to 0.5. That is basically where you have animations, but they're twice as quick. And you can immediately see the difference of speed, in my opinion. So this is significantly better than it was previously. But if you want, you could also go for off if you wish to, and then there won't be any animation whatsoever. But as you can see, in certain cases it looks a little bit weird, like it's double opening or closing something. I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes it will look a little bit weird in my opinion. So I will keep it right now on off, and you can see the rest of the video without it and decide if this is something that would interest you before you can actually enable it. Now you could also later on change it if you don't like it, and just look at it for yourself on your device. So yeah, well, there's only one last thing that I want to show, which is the Dura speed. And to get it enabled, let's go into settings again, and I think it's also somewhere on the bottom. There it is, Dura speed, and just enable that. And before you do, you have a message that Dura speed helps boost the foreground apps by restricting background apps. So basically, if you go into recent as an example, anything that is in recent will be restricted, so it will almost be closed without actually being closed. And anything that is open right now will have all the power that it needs, so it performs better. So instead of basically power being distributed to all the apps that are open, it will be taken from the apps that are somewhere, well, not really being used, and be directed solely to, for instance, the app that is open on the screen right now. And this is a really good option, for instance, if you like to just play some games on here. So yeah, tap on OK. And here you have also apps that are supported, and you can disable certain ones that you don't want to limit in the background. So there might be apps that you might not want to basically. So right here, as you can see, these apps that are enabled, those are the apps that will be still running in the background and won't be limited. And you want to probably keep messages most certainly, and Gmail or stuff like that, stuff that needs constant updates, because if you restrict those, for instance, if you get a message, you will get a message basically if you click on the app itself. Until then, you won't really get any update. That goes primarily for the apps that use Wi-Fi. So this is so I would restrict the messaging apps from being limited. But yeah, you can enable this and then get additional boost of performance and other apps that might have been working a little bit sluggish. But this will conclude all the tweaks and tricks that I want to share. And if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.